sister moon. I seldom see you, seldom hear your tune. Preoccupied with selfish misery.
Greetings, Uncle Travelling Matt here, and I'm reporting on the end of what has been my third day, I think. Yeah, third day on the Camino of St. Francis of Assisi. And that's, I guess, how it goes, isn't it? Only 3 days, and it's already become this kind of routine that you're in, and that's how it happens. Not a very good day, though, today. I'll be honest with you. And I think the reason why it's not been a very good day is because yesterday I was building up to being really tough, which it was in places. And then you kind of think like the next day is going to be easier, and it wasn't. I can't say it's harder, but maybe it was in places. It was different. But I think the expectation that it's going to be a doddle and the fact that it isn't is a bit of a killer. So, and why did I think it would be quite easy today? Well, I'm going to show you. This is the gradient chart. When you get into walking, gradient charts matter. And, you start there, and you go there, and you look at that, and you think, that's downhill. That's pretty good, eh? And it's, how long is it? Well, it's 17 kilometres, basically, which a Camino day is 20 to 25. So you think, 17 kilometres downhill. Get in. But it didn't work like that. And I should have read the finer print, because the finer print told me that, where are we here? It said total descent 1,088 meters. So that's basically the same as I climbed yesterday. I descended today. But you only drop 500 meters because the total ascent is 523 meters. And that's the thing. Like, I got out of the hotel and literally was climbing. And I thought I got all that over and done with. And so there was big periods of climbing today. And some really, really steep hills, like including one in the middle of the forest that was as bad as the one before, where I was literally 100 steps, stop, 100 steps, stop. And it was horrible. And the other thing is, like a lot of people would love, wandering through forest paths and this pristine forest. I think it's crap. I think it's really bad because I like coffee shops, I like meeting people, and I like interesting old buildings and little wayside shrines and that. And it's just boring. In a forest, there's nothing there. Now, the guy last night, when we were having a meal, did say, he'd seen wild boar in the forest. Now, to be fair, I might have seen them, but I was so knackered that I couldn't really concentrate on anything like more than 5 meters away from me. So there may have been wild boar wandering around everywhere, but I never saw a single one. I didn't see anything interesting. I mean, a woman last night, she saw a load of centipedes that interested her. Maybe they would have been mildly interesting if I'd seen centipedes, but I didn't. I heard a lot of birdsong, which is nice, and yeah, that's about it, really. I saw some footprints today that were they could have been dogs or wolves or bears, but I didn't actually see anything. And that was just a lot of walking through trees. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is that I don't like descents. When I first started Camino at the beginning, I had an injury to my leg. And what it meant was going downhill was really hard for me because my knee felt uncertain. And over the years, that's strengthened, and I find that I do descents a lot better than I used to, but I'm still not that good at them. And what's happened yesterday and getting worse today is I started to get some real pains in my ankle. Now, as I look at it, it's my left ankle. And it was really painful. But it was made worse, not by just the descent, but by the fact it was on those forest paths that are uneven, which are nice because they cushion the feet and they probably give you some really good exercise, rather than a tarmac road where it's slam, and that is hard on the soles after a while, but it's actually very easy on the ankle because it's not bending. And in the end, I was really glad of a road to walk on because it was flat. Because all this bending of the ankle, I was in agony, absolute agony. Not helped by the fact that I think a lot of these problems have developed yesterday through all that climbing, to the point that, and I didn't sleep very well because I actually I had a lot of chaotic dreams, which I only normally get when I'm ill, and probably not helped by the amount of wine I had at the meal last night. And I literally woke up at 2 in the morning and took 2 ibuprofen, and then I did sleep a lot better. But a lot of pain, and it only exacerbated through the day. I mean, halfway through the day, I took more ibuprofen. And I have been to the pharmacy this evening to get some stuff. But so I was just dealing with pain all day, and it's not fun. And I was getting to one point where, it was just this seemingly endless forest, just boring as hell. And all up, and you turn around a corner and there's another steep hill or another steep descent. Well, please, no. And of course, the hills are worse because you've got to descend it afterwards. So it's like double the hell. And it's a different kind of hell because sometimes you're descending so long, you're like, please can I have a hill to give my ankle a rest. But then you're like, vile. I had decided that last night, I'd been thinking about, a friend of mine had done an interfaith blog. And I thought, well, interfaith was interesting. Like, what's the point? Where does it work? Where doesn't it? And I thought I was going to meditate on that today, which I did for about half an hour. But then the walking got too tough. And then, at one point where I was absolutely knackered and just decided to sit down and chill for half an hour, I was met by the gentleman that I had a meal with last night, whose name was Igor. He's Bavarian. And we walked together. So I have had a day, which I didn't think I would have on this pilgrimage, of walking with another pilgrim. And as always, it gave me some strength and it helped me get through the toughest bit. So thanks, Igor, for that. And he's an engineer by trade, but he now actually teaches in a technical school in Germany. And he's got high blood sugar. I think he hasn't got diabetes yet, but he knows it's happening. So he does the walks to try and get a bit healthier. Not religious in any way, I don't think. And so there we are. So that was a good thing, right? I walked with someone, but I didn't get to do my meditations. But what is good is by the time I get where I'm going, I'm not so absolutely shattered now. I mean, I literally had 20 minutes lie in bed and then got a bit hungry. So I was going to go out for a meal tonight, but I didn't. I went to the supermarket and bought stuff from there instead. I'd save a bit of money. It was quite tasty as well. Basically got up, walked to the top of the pass, had a croissant in a cafe, which was nice, and then walked through a lot of bloody forest, which wasn't nice. And it's a shame because it is pretty, and something can be heaven and hell at the same time. But walked through this forest all day, where there were tiny villages in it, really lovely and really nice little spots, but they were few and far between. But there was one bit that was very pleasant, and it was a Camino thing, in that we actually came to a place where somebody had knitted an outline of St. Francis on a donkey and the Tau symbol. The Tau cross is St. Francis's cross. And they left a cool box full of water and beer saying, this is for pilgrims, leave a donation. And also a couple of leaflets. And it's one of those little, not shrines, but little things that people leave for pilgrims that you get all the way along Camino, and I hadn't seen anything like that on this route. And so it was really nice, and I just hope they get more and more of them as this route develops. And it was just really, really lovely and appreciated, and it was in a cracking spot as well. Then the last mile or two into Stia, which is where this ends, was quite pretty, and we saw a priest walking down the road, and then he got in his car, did about a 10-point turn to turn around the car, and we saw a couple of nice old castles in the distance, and an old nunnery as well. So beautiful area. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And Stia, what a gorgeous place! It's this fantastic long, steep square, that where we stopped, because that's the end of the stage, and on the square is a church, which from the outside it's like a 19th century front. It doesn't look much, but inside it's this beautiful Romanesque church, with these incredible carved pillars. Like the tops of them are really, really atmospheric carvings. They remind me a bit of the font at Ireland. And so yeah, so that was nice. Problem is, I screwed up because my accommodation, which I thought I'm being a bit smart here, I'll knock 2k off tomorrow, is 2.5k down the road at a place called Pontevecchio. And so I thought, I'll knock 2.5k off. The next day it's going to be up a hill, it'll be great. And then, of course, it turns out Pontevecchio isn't on the route tomorrow. I've gone 2.5k off the route. So I cheated. Well, not really, but I took a taxi to Pontevecchio. Probably won't take one back because it's quite expensive. Uber doesn't work here. But Pontevecchio is quite pretty as well. I'm on this square and I'm in this lovely apartment. And the lady who runs it's really, really nice. And it's an absolutely gorgeous place. But the problem is I got to go 2.5k back to the start for tomorrow. And then got to climb up to Camaldoli Monastery. And there's another disappointment that I was hoping to meet Pierluigi. You know, we had a chat today. He's like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be great. And then this emergency came up and he can't come. So I'm not meeting Pierluigi up there. And that's doubly annoying because there's two routes you can take tomorrow. There's one to the Eremo, which means like Hermitage of Camaldoli. And then there's the other that goes straight to the monastery, which is a lot easier. And I kind of want to see the Eremo, but I don't want all that extra climbing and descent. So, but Pierluigi was like, don't worry, we'll go up to it in the car. So you do the easy route, and then we'll go up to it in the car, and that'll be great. But obviously that's not going to happen now, because he's not going to be there. So, yes, that's life, isn't it? That's life. It's such a shame. I've got all the way to Italy, and I'm not going to see Pierluigi. Oh dear, never mind. So yeah, put me in a bad mood, doesn't it? What a miserable, gripey video this one is today, but that's it. I'm in a lot of pain still, but I've got all this medicine from the pharmacy, so I'm gonna get putting some of this on, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be full of energy and great and excited to climb up the hill to the monastery. And if I'm really excited, I might even go up to the Hermitage, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Brother sun and sister moon, I now do see you, I can hear your tune, so much in love with all